So welcome to our today's webinar on system integration with Lino PDM Pro and Lino ERP Pro. In the next 25 minutes, we would like to introduce you to our two integration softwares. What can they do and what can they be used for? So many of you, some of you may already be familiar with the softwares. But be excited. Tomorrow we will be releasing a brand new version of both softwares, the version 4.0. And the new version will provide significantly greater functionality and can be adapted even more flexibly to your needs and processes. And in addition, from this version onwards, both software can work together and thus realize a consistent cross-system process. But before we start, we would like to briefly introduce ourselves. So my name is Marcel Haas. I've been working at Lino for almost 2 years now. And before that, I was responsible for the introduction and rollout of Tacton and Lino products and the automation of design tasks at GEMU for more than 10 years, where I gained a lot of experience with the integration of software into an existing system landscape. And at Lino, I'm now responsible for the .NET software development and for the development of customer-specific plugins for the CPQ system Tacton TC side. And I also consult customers on system integration issues. And together with my colleague Ingo, I'm responsible for the development of Lino ERP Pro and Lino PDM Pro. So Ingo, would you please introduce yourself?
Sure, yeah. Okay, hello. My name is Ingo Knoch. I'm working here at Lino since more than 10 years. Before that, I worked as CAD administrator at Siemens, and I introduced there SolidWorks and also Tacton design automation. Yeah, and here at Lino, I'm a product manager for Lino PDM Pro and ERP Pro. I develop also myself on the software and try to have a good, flexible and customizable software to fit in the processes of our customers. And yeah, I think, or I believe that we have a diamond here, what we want to show you, which can solve many issues in data exchange between CAD, PDM, ERP, and for sure with knowledge-based engineering. Yeah. So
okay. Thanks. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Okay. Okay. First, I would like to give you a brief overview of our two standard integration softwares. What do they do and what are they good for? First of all, Lino PDM Pro. Lino PDM Pro is an add-in for Tacton Design Automation Engineer and takes care of the fully automatic document creation after you have configured the variant in SolidWorks with Tacton Design Automation softwares. And imagine you have automated your entire design process with Tacton Design Automation, and now a user configures a product variant requested by the customer, and the CAD model is automatically generated by Tacton. Now you want to save this CAD assembly to your PDM system, and usually you do this manually and use your usual PDM functions. And with PDM Pro, this saving process can be fully automated. All you have to do is to click on the button, and all the necessary documents will be created in your PDM system without duplicates. And this is ensured by the integrated duplicate search. This means that if this variant or a part of it has already been created in the PDM system at a previous time, this is recognized by the software and considered accordingly. Lino PDM Pro is available for many common PDM systems, such as SolidWorks PDM, Keytech, Profile, or SAP ECTR, but others can be implemented at any time on request. You can also use Lino PDM Pro to store your Tacton rules and regulations in the PDM system in encrypted form to protect your know-how. The user can still use the models as usual in the TDR engineer without being aware of it. However, this is an additional functionality for which a separate license of PDM Pro is required. So please contact us if you're interested or visit our separate webinar on this function. So Lino ERP Pro, on the other hand, is a SolidWorks add-in that connects SolidWorks with your ERP system. You can use it to transfer any data from your CAD model to the ERP system or even backwards. For instance, you can ask the ERP system for a new item number for your current design to write it into the file properties. You can create items or bill of materials in the ERP system using the data out of your CAD design, or you can even create PDF files or step files and send them to your ERP system. All of this can be done during or after your engineering process, triggered by the user or automatically. And it doesn't matter whether the design was created using Tacton design automation or manually. You as an administrator can exactly define what the software should do. A large number of function blocks are available for this purpose, which you can use to adapt the software to your needs, and all without any programming language. So Lino ERP Pro can be used with nearly every ERP system and can even connect non-ERP systems like CRM systems or something like this. So let's take a look at an example process of Lino PDM Pro, which automatically creates the documents in the PDM system after the configuration with Tacton Design Automation has been completed. Imagine you want to use Tacton to configure a variant requested by the customer. And to do this, you open the master model in SolidWorks and start the configuration. And any missing cut file required for the master model is being loaded automatically from the PDM system by PDM Pro. And if you have purchased the PDM Pro encryption license, the encrypted Tacton rules from the PDM system may be used. So now imagine to configure your desired variant, and Tacton will automatically generate the corresponding CAD model for you. And now you start the creation process with PDM Pro, and PDM Pro now searches whether your completely design or parts of it already exists in the system and takes them into account accordingly. Then PDM Pro retrieves a new article number, for example, from the number generator and uses this article number to create the documents in the PDM system. And once everything is complete, the documents are automatically checked in and released if necessary. So the only thing you have to do is to wait until Lino PDM Pro has completed all the work. Let's now move on to Lino ERP Pro. Lino ERP Pro is the connector between SolidWorks, between your SolidWorks design and the ERP system. It doesn't matter whether you have created the design with Tacton design automation or classically by hand. Whenever you want to use information from the ERP system for your design or trigger an operation in the ERP system with the information from the CAD design, with Lino ERP Pro, you can exchange any information bidirectionally. For example, you can use the BOM information from your CAD assembly to create a complete BOM in the ERP system. Or you can create items in the ERP system and use the type code, the description, the material, or the mass properties from the CAD model. You can also create neutral formats from your CAD design and transfer these files to the ERP system, for example, as a quote drawing. It's totally up to you to decide exactly which functions you want to implement. And for that, a large number of function modules are available by default, which you can use to implement exactly the process you need. In Lino ERP Pro, we call such a process an action list. And you can realize as many action lists as you like. It's not limited. And ERP Pro can even communicate with more than one external system with the same action list, within the same action list. For example, first you send a description text out of a SOLIDWORKS property to an online translation tool, and then you receive the translated file and the translated text and send it to your ERP system for the item creation, for example. And how can an action list be defined? So there's a large number of function blocks available for this purpose. As you see on the right-hand side, a small example. And these function blocks can be used in so-called actions. And an action can be, for example, reading or writing a SOLIDWORKS file property or calling a web service of the ERP system. And an action list consists of several of these actions that are executed one after the other. So let's have a look at a very simple action list as an example. In this process, the system first checks whether an article number exists already in the file properties. And if not, a new article number is reserved by the number generator of the ERP system and added to the properties. And then a step model, for example, of the active design is generated and saved in the PDM system. And after that, maybe a new item is created in the ERP system using the information from SOLIDWORKS and the previously reserved item number. Maybe then a new BOM is created in the ERP system where the information from the CAD BOM is used for. And this is just an example of a process that could look completely different for you. These modules and the option to define action lists are now available in both ERP Pro and PDM Pro, although you can only use the full range of functions if you have purchased licenses for both packages. So let's now come to the more exciting part of the webinar, the live demo. So Ingo, it's yours.
I'm here. So, okay, I show my screen. So, yeah, I'm very excited to how can I have a To show the functionality of PDM Pro and ERP Pro, a little bit pre-work here. We have here SolarWish 2022. And in the background, we have SolarWish PDM and the same version. And I'm now in the home office. So I work over the VPN network. And yeah, it's possible for sure. Maybe it could be a little bit slower than in the office, but in the normal way it will work. We are here in SolidWorks. I have opened our example model for a sectional door, and the Tacton design automation engineers started, and I preloaded a special configuration in a special size with options which windows are here and which side. And the principal work is an engineer or a sales engineer configures the necessary variant, and then he goes to the Lino PDM Pro manager, and has two opportunities. He can say, or I want to run it in one shot. So he used the green check mark. I do, and in this case, the PDM Pro calculates and key what is special for this variant and search in the PDM system for it. And this happens here. And now I get the information window. I can open this found variant, or I can say, no, I want to change the configuration, and now I go to change something here. I change the side that the controllers on the other side, and maybe I will add additional windows. And yeah, maybe this one also, so that we have more light in the garage. So now the question is, and I can't say, is this variant, I have the data for this variant in my PDM system. And nevertheless, with that, this variant has a number, document number, article number, and so on. And to find out this, I use the single step mode. So it's more, I can more explain what happens here. Now the system, you see, it takes longer because of the top level variant is not in the system, but the parts or components inside the assembly will have also a key to reuse that, and not to create every time new doublets in the system. So in here, the system automatically retrieves the files from the PDM system and replace them here in the assembly. Now the cursor is blinking, so the system is working. So now the user interface on the left side responds and give me the information. Okay, these are the documents and the drawings which are created newly in the system, because this variant is not existing before in the system. So the next step in order is to update the drawing. Here we automatically we find the drawing in the PDM system, we open that, we update the drawing by Tacton update, and also possible with Lino 2D Fix. And if this was done, then I'm able to create the data sets. And before I do that, I go for to set the export folder where I want to have it in the PDM system. SOLIDWORKS PDM is folder orientated. Other PDMs and PDM systems are not. So here in this case, I select the right folder for this new variant. It's also possible to control that by the rules, Tacton rules, where the project data should be located after the creation process. And the rest is the last action is to create a data set. Now the system retrieves a new number, saves the model in with the right naming conventions in the right folder, and after that it saves the drawing with the same number or another number depending on the setup. And now the data check-in runs, and at the end it releases the data in the PDM system. This is the normal workflow for an engineer who is using Tacton Design Automation with PDM Pro. Now, if I reuse the same state, it would brings me this new variant. So it's not possible to recreate the same variant with the same parameters, the same commits again and again and again. The second workflow I want to show you is the Tacton independent workflow. So the Tacton independent workflow means we have here the same model, but it's without Tacton knowledge inside. It's only our bigger test model, and that's why I'm showing this technology. I open up the drawing, and by our task list, action list, is possible to define own commands in the command manager, Lino PDM Pro or Lino ERP Pro. And here in this case, I have both installed, both products, and so we have this mixed name with Lino X Pro to not to have two command managers and here that and here that, because at the end it's a generic common system, and customers could have in a full-blown environment. They have a PDM, ERP, and they want to have a good designing of process, like my colleague Marcel explained, that it's not the row first PDM, then ERP. It's mostly a mixture. Some tasks in ERP, some tasks in PDM, and this I try to show you here. I have here a command, open the model from drawing. Now the system analyzes the data and brings up the right model. It's only an example. I know that this function is also possible doing with SOLIDWORKS, but here in this way it's a little bit more advanced. So now we are in the model. It's an example, and we have here some buttons defined, and this could be one. It could be no button, no command, or a lot of them. And you define what you need, and then you can say, okay, I want to have that here. So we have here the possibility to clean up data, which means it deletes suppressed components, suppressed features, empty pattern, and so on. And this cleanup function came out from PDM Pro. PDM Pro has since a long time has a cleanup function for advanced features. We have the possibility to save bill of materials as file in XML format or JSON format for controlling or to send manually to another system. But at the end here, I want to show a process which interacts between ERP, PDM, and at the end ERP. This is the do-it-all button. I start that, and it starts up with an user interface. And here I can set up a name for this project, webinar, maybe 2024. I have here the original name in German, because normally I work in German. We can change that to sectional door in English, and we have here the red rectangle show me, and you see the button OK button is not it's not active because of there are data missed. So I have to add here, for instance, Lino tests or shows Lino X Pro, for instance, and then the button is activated and can hit OK. So now the process starts that the system logs into the ERP system in behind, gets a new number, a new article number, and creates with this number a new file in the PDM system for this model, which is the process, normal process of ETO, the normal work of an construction engineer. So, by the way, now the creation of export data runs. You could create all files SolidWorks are able to create, PDFs, e-drawings, steps, whatever, and provide them to the ERP system. And this was the process for the model, and now I show the same command also for the drawing, because of the drawing is had another document with a PDF for this type. Yeah. So, and by creation of by running that, it retrieves the data from the model, creates the according file with the right name, and check in that to the PDM system and provide a PDF of that to the ERP system. And to show what is the result, I have created by the same way an action list of results which retrieves back the data and the files from the ERP system. And doing that, it's an information window we have in the system created by ourselves. And here you can see some data I entered, or they are automatically calculated, like the maximum volume of this assembly. It shows, okay, you have 2 documents for that number in the system, yeah. And if I hit OK, an Explorer opens up, shows me the data from the ERP system. In this case, it is the bill of materials. We have actually only one bill of material, because we implemented our ERP system as system was what loses or forget the data, so we can doesn't matter how much data we put in, it's fast and convenient for our purpose. Yeah. So, and nevertheless, the data on the same way, the data are retrieved back from the ERP system. It's not the original one was created on it's put back to the ERP, or it was in the ERP and then downloaded over the same web interfaces to my computer back. And you could download that from your computer if you want. In the same way, you see that is the PDF, and I also established an step file creation, and I open up that one, and you will see that's exactly this variant with this windows on this side. Okay, so now I'm end up with my demonstration. I hope you could see how easy it was with a predefined action list to do these automatic variant duplicate search and creation, and also the other process that you can create an overall process, creation data in the PDM system, release them, and put the data for this new variant in the ERP system. So now I give back to Marcel.
Yeah, thanks, Ingo. Finally, I would like to inform you about our upcoming webinars. On November the 30th, we have a webinar on Lino Simplify, a tool for simplifying complex assemblies. And on December the 14th, we have a webinar on Tacton design automation for Inventor. So thank you for your attention, and we're pleased if we have caught your interest. So just get in touch with us. And Thoralf, are there any questions? So we're already a little over time, but are there any questions? Ah, yeah, okay. One question. Does ERP Pro have its own memory or database where you have to make sure that the information is kept synchronized with the ERP system, or how does it work? So ERP Pro is an interface software and does not have its own data memory, but simply transfers data from A to B. So ERP Pro can access data of the SolidWorks model live, and but during the runtime of SolidWorks or ERP Pro, however, information can be stored temporarily so that it can be used for an action list at a later time, for example. I hope I could answer your question. So I think there are no more questions. Then I would say thank you for your attention, and have a nice day. Bye.
Also from my side. Yep. Bye-bye. Have a nice week and nice weekend. Bye-bye.